Anthony Joshua has joined us.
That's right.
Saturday, June 1st, Anthony Joshua is defending his title at MSG against Andy Ruiz Jr. Now, we start with this, Anthony. First, we welcome you to the show. This is your first fight in the United States, and you fought in front of 90,000 fans at Wembley Stadium in England. Does fighting
his intros at Wembley Stadium looked like when Drago comes out in Rocky IV.
So does it mean something to you to fight at MSG, Anthony?
Does it mean something? It's everything, man. You know, imagine when you first start out, and let's say you're from Africa, Asia, Europe. You tend to watch the American stars of boxing. So my guy was like Mike Tyson and so on. Then you get to know about Muhammad Ali and all these greats, and then you learn about the history of Madison Square Garden and the magic that had come out of America. So to be here is like I'm putting my name just alongside some of the greats that have been there. But what I go on and do with my career is now stomping my name alongside these greats. So it's hopefully the start of something special.
So, Anthony, I'm gonna be totally blunt with you.
Yes, sir.
I'm a fan.
Thank you very much.
The Klitschko fight, I remember where I was when I watched it, and the Klitschko fight to me was the first great heavyweight fight that we'd seen in a long time.
Okay.
And I thought for a second it was the best Vlad Klitschko we'd seen in years. Okay. And then you come back and beat him in dramatic fashion. We have a new great heavyweight. Alongside that, we have Deontay Wilder, who's building his resume, and Tyson Fury, who drops 100 pounds, gets himself back in shape. Explain to me why you are not the one to blame for not being involved with Fury and Wilder. Because we got a fight out of those two. And it was a damn good fight.
Correct.
Really surprised me.
Correct.
And I saw Wilder a few weeks ago, or a couple months ago before his last fight, and I'm seeing him again later this week, where I'm sure he will put the onus on you. You tell me why it's not Anthony Joshua's fault that we haven't seen one of these fights happen for you yet.
Why can I say it's not Anthony Joshua's fault? So I just put it like this, really. The most recent offer I made to one of the best heavyweights in the division, Luis Ortiz.
Who's fantastic.
Who's a fantastic fighter. So and we're going to talk financials because that is what kind of gives people incentive to fight some of the best fighters in the division. So he made a paycheck against Deontay Wilder of $500,000 to fight, and he took that and he fought Wilder and he had a great fight and he lost.
That was at the Barclays Center, yes.
So then I was looking for an opponent for June 1st at Madison Square Gardens. And we offered Luis Ortiz $6 million to fight. And he said we gave him a low-ball offer. That is not enough. So why I mentioned Luis Ortiz is because now let's flip reverse back when we went to fight Deontay Wilder. So we gave Deontay Wilder the opportunity to fight in Wembley in front of 90,000 people.
And what did you offer him for that fight?
We offered him $15 million.
15?
Yeah.
And what were you going to take for that fight?
I'm going to take my cut.
Because the word was you wanted the fight at Wembley, but you were going to make somewhere probably near $100 million.
I wish.
And or $50 million. And Deontay was going to speak to
15. If there was $100 million, I'm going to speak to my management because someone's taking some of that money.
You agree that you do need Deontay or Fury to get the monster payday, the biggest payday possible.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And that's the mega fight. Like, put the payday aside. The reason why I spoke about finance is because I feel that is what should incentivize fighters. Also, with that aside, what I was going to get to, aside from the finance and the biggest audience, is that he's fighting for all of the belts. I've got 4 of the major belts. So he should be biting at the opportunity to beat me, to tell the world I'm the king. If he beats me, he's the king. I've got 4 of the belts. What more can you want from someone? So that's what I say. Finance aside, the biggest audience aside, you have the chance to own all of the belts. So that's why it baffles me now when I go back from Ortiz, the opportunity he turned down, to Wilder, the opportunity he turned down. When he was earning $2 million a fight, we upped the level. I've been trying, honestly. But all I say now is this, is that I'm sure these guys have got really smart people around them managing them. So whatever decisions they're making, they're probably for good reason, but their decisions have not involved fighting me. And it's not me anymore that's upset. The fans are losing out. And the longer they leave it, the better I believe I'm getting. So they're only going to make it harder for them.
Well, or the better the chance is that one of you guys gets knocked out and the interest in the fight goes away.
So who was the situation when this happened with? I was talking about this, but it's happened before in history where someone has a warm-up fight, thinking that they're just going to go and box someone, have a warm-up fight, and then they get beat on the way there.
Hey, Buster Douglas was a warm-up fight, you know?
And look at that. That is in history today.
But this is how the fans lose out on this.
The fans,
they're not getting the fight they want, and what ends up happening historically is they end up getting the fight way too past when people really care about it. And that's why the heavyweight division gets in trouble, right?
Yeah. And even though the fight happens, and everyone's like, wow, the fight's happened, after they're saying, well, was it too late?
Yeah, well, Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson was too late.
Yeah.
You know, Lewis...
Pacquiao, Mayweather.
Way too late.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that worries me. And I mean, I'll tell you the truth. I'm interested because you're fighting in the U.S.
Yes, sir.
But I'll tell you what, your fight at the Garden on June 1st, it's all risk. Because I'll tell you what, if you lose to that guy, Anthony, I'm going to be severely disappointed. I've watched the tape. He makes Buster Douglas look like, you know, Vlad Klitschko.
So, I mean, if I lose, you're never going to see me again.
You know? You can't lose to this guy. Michael, have you seen this guy?
First of all, I'm looking at him right now. That was one of the questions I want to ask him. First of all, you look like you're 15. You don't have a mark on your face. Do you ever get hit?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, but they broke my nose, my bones, my knuckles are bruised. I'm a old war horse.
Michael, you really should go back one day if you have a flight or whatever and watch his fight with Vlad Klitschko on YouTube. It was truly Klitschko's last stand, and it was truly a heroic moment that made you. What's it like coming out, though, in front of a crowd like that? Because that is unusual. In the States, we don't have a fighter who's beloved like you are. Floyd Mayweather is not beloved.
Okay, understood.
There's the last fighter, American fighter, who was truly beloved in that way. I mean, Mickey Ward and Arturo Gatti had a certain sort of thing. Yeah. And, of course, Tyson was Tyson.
Yes.
But we've never had a fighter where the whole country rallies. What's it like when you come out? I mean, Don, it's like, do you think Apollo Creed's coming out and James Brown's going to perform Living in America? Like, what is that like, though, for 90,000 people, for just you?
The first time I boxed in front of the 90,000 people was against Klitschko, right? And what it was like, it was just a feeling where I said to myself, there's losing and there's losing and getting embarrassed, because Klitschko can punch. He can hit hard. And that's just the feeling, is that I'll give everything I've got, but the scary part about the sport is that I just don't want to embarrass myself, because these guys, I think we're in a new era now where the guys are 6'9", 18, 19, 20 stone, big guys. So I just said, you know what? I'm going to ride the wave of all these supporters. I'm going to give it my best, and whatever happens, happens. That's exactly my mindset when I went in there. No stress.
Now, this fight is Saturday, June 1st. It's against Andy Ruiz Jr. It's expected to sell out, but if you go to MSG.com right away to purchase tickets, you will not get shut out. Tell us something, Anthony, about Andy Ruiz Jr. What type of fighter is he? What do you worry about with him?
Andy Ruiz is a selective puncher. He does not waste punches, meaning when he punches, he throws with intent. So I feel like I have to make sure my hands are in good position. I always say a tall fighter is fine, but we're used to boxing tall fighters as well, short fighters. Andy Ruiz only boxes guys bigger than him, so he's used to guys like me. He knows the pitfalls and the mistakes we make. Low hands, throws a jab, counter punches. So he's going to be comfortable in the ring. I've got to adapt my style to someone shorter. Sometimes I have to adapt to someone taller, and so on and so forth. Andy Ruiz is from Mexican heritage. We know that they have a good love for the sport of boxing. And he's been at world level. He fought Joseph Parker in a close decision, which he lost. But some people say he won, some people say he lost. I'm not too sure. I don't really make an opinion on that. I leave that to the judges. But what I'm trying to say is that the man is a world level fighter. He's not someone that I can overlook, and not someone that I can take lightly.
No, and he's not very light. He's 261 pounds, I believe.
Yeah.
That's how much you weigh, right, Pete?
Selective puncher, not a selective eater. Yeah, no, he looks like me physically. He looks like he's on the same gym regimen as me. So that's why I say it's a huge risk for Anthony, because if Anthony, this is my point, if somehow you get caught and knocked out by Ruiz, then then all we end up getting maybe one day is Wilder Fury too. But here's my thing. You're with The Zone.
Yes, sir.
Who, by the way, you're very important over there, right? You are the second, in all due respect, probably the second most important fighter they have. Canelo is probably the most important fighter in the world, biggest deal of all time, right? And he's earned that. And he was great on Saturday night.
Yeah, yeah.
They need to start calling it DAZN. I want you to put this through.
Is it just easier?
It's just, I don't think that as a serious sports network, you can say you're called DAZN.
Sometimes
it's got to be DAZN. I think so.
Sometimes I forget that it's the zone, and from the logo, I can't remember.
So what do
it doesn't indicate what it is.
Do you call it DAZN as well?
No, it's the zone, but
in your head you see DAZN.
But I see DAZN, and then I get thrown off, and then I'm trying to wonder, and then I'm like, is it the zone? But looking at those letters, it sometimes doesn't pop into my head.
So maybe it's a situation where the slogan is like maybe, if you want to get in the zone, watch DAZN.
That's what I'm talking about. By the way, I like it. See? That's how you know he's smarter than your everyday fighter right now.
You know, if you need anyone for marketing campaigns.
That was pretty good.
And also, too, because we've all had a chance to have plenty of boxers in here. I mean, legitimately humble. And it seems like that's something that you strive to be. And
I don't think he's as humble as you.
well, it's all relatively speaking.
Hey, where's my coffee, man?
No, because you have to kind of be your own promoter in boxing.
Yeah,
right? But I get the sense that that's something that's important to you.
Yeah, look, just be yourself. Number one, be yourself. Just be who you are. Look, if there's nothing wrong with being glitz and glam and having loads of character, for me, I'm just myself. Calm, collected, and just likes to have a good time. I know what struggle's about. I know what the good life. I've seen that through boxing. People have shown me the good life as well. So it's a blessing, and I take it with a pinch of salt. I don't get too far ahead of myself, or I don't get too depressed and get too below myself.
I'll tell you what. I think the one thing that's fascinating right now is there is the opportunity for the first time since the Tyson-Lewis era for the heavyweight division to be truly meaningful.
Truly meaningful.
I believe you guys have made that as difficult as humanly possible by all having deals on different networks.
I agree.
Tyson's with ESPN. You're with DAZN, DAZN. And Deontay's with Showtime, correct?
Yeah.
And I do think that presents a problem. But frankly, all three of you are incredibly likable guys. All have interesting different stories. And all are really good. Like, I truly didn't believe Tyson Fury. Did you believe Fury was as good before the Wilder fight? To me, that showed me he was at a different level than I realized he was.
Even when he fought Klitschko, I didn't realize he was that good.
No, that was one of the ugliest fights I've ever seen.
But he managed to get in there and disrupt one of the greatest heavyweights of all time, one of the longest reigning champions. Same with Wilder. He had a break. He came back. He lost so much weight. Everyone thought, nah, he's definitely not ready. Wilder's been knocking guys out since day one. He went in there, played with Wilder for some rounds as well. I was just like, this guy's talented, but this is why I want to challenge these guys. Me giving them offers is not to say I'm guaranteed to beat these and it's going to be an easy night's work. It's to say, let me challenge myself against the best heavyweights. And so I don't finish my career and think, damn, what would happen if I would have boxed these guys? It's good to kind of show myself and what I'm about, where I need to improve, or if I'm really as good as I feel I am against guys like Fury and Wilder.
All right, now I want to play the what-if game with you. We're talking with Anthony Joshua, the undefeated heavyweight champion of the world. If somebody could get Tyson, not Fury, Mike Tyson, to come out of retirement and fight you, would you do it?
No.
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 What if somebody gave him like $100 million? He got in great shape. He's in great shape anyway, and said, "I want to take you on." You wouldn't do it?
I respect him too much.
Because you think you'd kick his ass right now is what you're saying.
I'm not even going to mention.
Mike is 52.
Man, I respect that guy so much, man.
Have you had a chance to meet him?
No.
Really? Haven't met him yet?
I swear, no, never met him.
He's a great guy, I think.
Yeah. And he's in a good place now.
He's in a very good place.
He's in a good place.
I mean, he's making tons of money with weed in California right now.
It's crazy, right?
Oh, my God.
How crazy. But it's so pure. It seems to me Mike Tyson is the best when he's at his natural. Like, when it was boxing, it was pure for the sport, no business. And he was at his best. Now he's in California.
Yeah.
Doing this thing with cannabis. It's pure, it's natural, you know. And if anyone knows him at all, that was always, although Mike has had drug problems before, marijuana was a drug that actually always calmed him, and really he was someone who needed it medicinally. Yeah. So the fact that he's now doing so well with it is great. It's good to see.
What about other? Do you have any other what ifs, Michael? Sorry, I jumped in.
No, that was my one, because I've always wondered why Tyson wouldn't want to cash in. Because
Michael thinks
George
he could get
Foreman
one more payday.
George Foreman cashed in.
But George,
52.
When George started his comeback, Michael, he was like 42, 43.
Yeah.
Michael's fit.
Yeah, but George was kind of fat then. Mike Tyson's in great shape now, and used to be an unbelievable fighter.
I just have to remind you, Mike's my favorite athlete of all time. His last fight was a loss to Kevin McBride.
Yeah.
I mean, a guy who's not even a capable fighter.
Okay, let me ask you this question.
McBride would have done better.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question. Could Kevin Rooney, Teddy Atlas make another Mike Tyson?
I think they need custom auto.
Yeah, I think there's two missing ingredients there.
Go on.
Cuss.
Yeah.
And Jacobs.
And Mike. No, and Mike. Mike is just a.
So could have Mike been with any trainer in the world and become as good as he was?
But once he lost Rooney, though, Anthony, he wasn't the same guy.
This is what I'm so the trainers. We only are a product of who are coaching us, really.
I know, but Mike was such a freak in it. It was such a perfect storm.
It was a perfect storm
Of Tyson being this kid from this background that had these problems, and then these people who were able to take this pain and harness it with this athleticism.
I heard that Customer was a psychologist, so he knew how to mentor, build that fire within Mike Tyson. But Mike said that, but when Customer passed away, he didn't teach him how to turn that fire off. So that was where he...
Well, I think he was at a stage in his life where, unlike he was with Floyd Patterson and Torres before that, Mike was a different kind of dude. And then he died, and Cuss dies, Jimmy Jacobs dies.
Yeah.
There's no one around anymore. And also, did those guys really care? I'm not saying they didn't care, but did they do the work to take care of him emotionally? Or were they just focused on, we need to move him up the ranks as quickly as possible?
That's what it's about, because I come from the stable of boxing, but luckily I went the Olympic route where it became a bit more professionalized, organized, physios, nutritionists. But when I was in my amateur club, it was a bit more grim. How do we get this boy from A to B by any means possible? And you're just like taking you around all the local gyms, sparring the fighters, fighting. I sparred Tyson Fury, Derek Chisora, all the UK fighters. But luckily I went the Olympic route, and I think they kind of polished me up a bit and made my eyes peel to all the trappings of the boxing.
Well, and Mike didn't make the Olympics.
No, so he went in the gutter way through the hardship. And you look at this, for instance, Dylan White, he didn't go the Olympic route. He's gone through the hardship way. And you can kind of see in terms of character, he does things the hard way to
Well,
get
you saw even Crawford didn't make the Olympics. Crawford's
more.
route has been different as well.
Yes.
All right, real quick, in the UK, just be blunt with us.
I will.
How big how A-list are you as a star in the UK period right now?
I'm about a D, cat. D-list. I'm about a D-list.
No, have you met everyone there is to meet in the UK in terms of celebrity?
I shook the Queen's hand.
Okay. See, that's
big.
That's pretty big.
Yeah. I shook the Queen's hand, which was an honor.
No Harry or William yet?
Yeah, I met those guys.
Both of them? All right.
And the main thing is, my mum still loves me. That's what I'm saying. I'm doing my family proud, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. So no, I'm not into the celebrity stuff so much.
You know, Harry had his baby today.
Yes, he did. Congratulations, a baby boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I've got a son as well, so if he ever needs a playmate, someone to chill with, I'll drop my boy around. So congratulations to the Royals. It's
Have you
amazing.
met Ricky Gervais?
Not yet. No.
Okay. All right.
Are you going to ask him everybody he's ever met, Peter?
Have you ever met Cristiano Ronaldo?
Yes.
You met Cristiano Ronaldo?
Yeah, that's my boy.
Really?
Yeah, CR7. That's my boy.
That's a pretty good one too. Who's your athletic brand sponsorship?
Under Armour.
You're doing
way.
okay. You're gonna be okay.
What would you be if you weren't a boxer?
What would I be if I weren't a boxer?
An actor.
No. Do you know what I would be doing? Construction.
Construction.
Yeah, in the building game.
Okay.
Like from a design standpoint, or like lifting up plywood?
Not design, but more like project management. Like I would form a team together, plasterers, electricians, plumbers, bricklayers, scaffolding team, and then create maybe the ESPN building, hopefully one day.
Oh,
Would you allow Drake in your dressing room before a fight?
No, you shouldn't.
If you're telling, I know I shouldn't. If you're telling me that, I know I shouldn't. You know about the Drake curse.
Of course.
It's,
We talk about it all the
crazy,
time.
right?
It's crazy.
It's real though.
Yeah, keep
I
away.
think it is.
It's
It's not worth it. You don't want to be the guy to test it.
This is what I'm saying.
But he had all 4 football logos for the championship games. They both went to overtime. The guys didn't know what
what's
to do.
weird actually? So I took a picture with Drake
I thought you did. When did you take it?
before Miller got banned. Because Miller had his drug test, and then the whole fight went to pot.
See, there it is.
The fight got canceled.
Yeah, the fight got cancelled.
Now hold on. Now I saw you just compared the heavyweight division to Game of Thrones.
Okay. Yeah.
Are you deep into Game of Thrones yourself, or are you just using the reference?
I'm just using the reference. I haven't caught up on it. Do you know what? How class would it be if I came out with the Game of Thrones theme song as my walk-in?
It would be.
Would it be menace?
It would be beyond menace, but you would need to bring out I mean, listen, it wouldn't be as good if I'm you.
Yeah.
Have you ever come out with Stormzy before?
Of course.
You've come out with
That's
Stormzy
my boy.
before. Okay.
Maybe I'm a B-lister then, not D. Maybe I'm a
If you've come out with Stormzy, you're at least
Well, he is.
I'm a B-lister.
Anthony Joshua will be A-list on June 1st, Saturday at Madison Square Garden. He faces Andy Ruiz Jr. for the heavyweight championship of the world. Tickets at MSG.com. You have to go there soon because this fight is going to sell out. Boxing in New York, it's in our soul. Anthony, we thank you for coming by the studio. We really do, and good luck.
Thank you, sir. Take care.
Cheers, man.